You're listening to the BNI Effect, the podcast for Brisbane entrepreneurs who believe in givers gain. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach who specialises in sales and leadership, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member. In this episode, I chat with a Brisbane BNI member to explore their biggest wins, biggest lessons, and how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. This is episode number 95, and today's guest is Kathy Aoki from Ozzilat Property. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Thank you for being here. Given it's a BNI podcast, let's kick it off talking about the BNI story and specifically what is your best referral that you've either given or received through BNI?
I think probably one with Shudder Solutions, who is part of our chapter, and they actually did my new window finishings through my own home. So something that I've wanted for many years, and they made that happen for me.
And so how did that come about?
Well, I met Sylvia and Dave, the owners of the company, through our BNI chapter. And they very kindly came around and had a look. And I'd actually wanted plantation shutters for probably 15 years. And being a single mum, I could never afford them. So Dave and Sylvia made that happen for me, yes.
Well,
And
that is
probably if I
amazing.
hadn't met them and BNI, it wouldn't have happened, yeah.
Yeah, and so why does that one stand out for you, Kathy?
I think it was probably the largest referral financially that I've given, because most of my referrals can be a lot smaller being a property manager. So I actually give a lot to trades, which can be small to large jobs. Yes.
So, Kathy, how did you discover BNI?
I actually started working for a company 2 years ago, who the principal at the time actually asked me to come and have a look at a meeting, because he wanted me to join and attend for his company and represent us. So he actually took in the seat, um, for that real estate agent that I was working for at the time. In the 2 years that I was there, another agent in our chapter actually poached me to go and work for him. A little bit of an awkward situation, but it was a career decision, so I took up the opportunity and moved over. And I actually lost my seat because of that, because my owner of the company owned the seat I had at the time. And I love BNI, and very passionate about it. So it was very upsetting for me when I lost the seat. But fortunately enough, just recently that seat opened back up and I reapplied and I got back in. So that's very
Wow.
exciting.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What a wonderful story. So what was it? Just let's go back to when you first started. What was it about the first time that you discovered BNI? Like, what were your thoughts? What were you thinking? How did you feel after that first meeting?
Well, having been a property manager for 30 years, I am very open to networking. So I could see the potential in BNI in generating referrals in property management by networking, because I've been doing this for so long. And I think an employer many years ago taught me how to cold call. And when I made that first cold call, I shook in my boots. And he just pressured me to do it for a good couple of weeks. And then one day I got my first management out of it. And after that, you couldn't stop me. So networking and things like that have always been exciting to me. So I could see the potential. And that's why.
Fantastic. And so how long into your BNI journey did you realize that this was going to be worth it for you?
The first 6 months, I think I struggled. And after that, and Avi actually taught me that if you wait and be patient, those referrals will come back. So I found the first 6 months I was giving and not gaining. But he sat and talked to me a number of times and encouraged me to keep going. And all of a sudden, one day it just turned around. And of course, when I lost the seat 2 years later, I was very upset. I didn't want to lose it. I was very attached to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
But so it's a good example where, it's about trust the system, do all the right things, but be patient for the outcome. And it
Oh,
sounds like
absolutely.
you were doing all the right things, but maybe feeling a little bit sort of despondent that you weren't seeing the results. And then all of a sudden, the magic kicked in for you, and the rest is history.
That's correct. Yes. Yes.
Amazing. What
I
do
would have
you?
wanted to join again if I hadn't have persisted, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, well
Mm.
done to you, Kathy. What do you consistently do in BNI that brings you results?
I sit with my phone on my desk when I'm working,
Right.
and something just triggers in my head that's either a referral or I need to do a one-to-one with this person to generate that referral that I'm thinking in my head. Um, yeah, so I'm just constantly thinking of referrals and how I can give, because if I don't, I'm not going to get back if I'm not persistent on it. Yeah,
So you got this whole giver's gain mindset. So what you're saying is that as you're
absolutely.
doing certain things, you're constantly thinking about, can I help that person? Can I give to that person? And that's why you've got the phone nearby. That if something sparks for you, you're able to act on that pretty quickly and perhaps provide that referral, that opportunity.
That's correct. Yeah, yeah.
So on the flip side, what are some mistakes that you see other members make where perhaps they aren't able to maximize the opportunity within BNI?
I think, like myself, it's a learning process for us all. Um, there's rules that we shouldn't break, but you can do sometimes because you don't kind of have the right mindset or don't think, no, that's not correct in the way we do it. Um, so yeah, just thinking of the rules probably surrounding BNI. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would frame it up that whilst there are rules in place, they're not
Mm,
rules to be difficult or obstructive. They're actually guidelines to help people achieve. And what I mean by
yes.
that is that when you do all the things that BNI recommends that you do, and you do them consistently and persistently, you will
Mm,
have phenomenal success. And you're a wonderful example of that, where for that first 6 months you were toiling away, thinking you were doing all the right things, then all of a sudden, it then started to come back to you. But it's that consistency and persistence of doing all the right things that ensures a wonderful outcome with BNI.
that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Well, let's have a chat about Ozzilat property. Hey, so just talk us through what is Ozzilat all about?
Okay, so Ozzilat wears many hats. It's a property development company. Samir, my principal, is actually a member of our BNI as well. So he he's probably only the same age as my son, actually, one of my sons. But and I often wonder why he wants me to work for him, but he could see something in me that he wanted. But we're having a lot of fun. So he's a property developer, does a lot of new builds, commercial property management, residential property management, and sales. Um, so yeah, it's quite interesting, and I'm actually just putting systems into place for his property management department. We're building in numbers, so we're growing already since I started in May. I think we started with 92 properties. We're up to 115 already, and I
Oh,
think we'll make
wow.
150 by the end of financial year,
Good
if
on
not
you.
before.
Congratulations
Yeah.
on all your success in such a short period of time, Kathy. What is it that makes Ozzilat different from other businesses like it?
Okay. So one thing that Samir and I have in common is pod-based property management systems. So these days, a lot of the larger companies, the big names, are actually going for a pod system, opposed to the old-fashioned system that I like, is portfolio system. So pod system is when a property manager sits in the office all day and she talks to the owners and the tenants. Quite often, owners and tenants can't even get her on the phone. Then you have a maintenance manager, a routine inspection manager, a leasing manager, do all those little things underneath. But what goes wrong is they don't communicate with the property manager that needs to know everything. So when the owner or the tenant calls to ask about their property or their tenancy, they can't answer the questions because they're not communicating. Where portfolio management, you have a property manager that runs around, she does the leasing, the maintenance, the routine inspections, the talks to the owners and tenants. And she picks up the phone and she knows everything that's going on. If she doesn't know, or I shouldn't say she, it could be a he, doesn't know, then they can go and find out and come back to the owner. At least they've got some kind of answer for them. So it's a much more better customer service way of doing property management. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly
So what
sounds
we
like it.
aim to do.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I said it sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
a way better way to do things.
So what we aim to do is to stay on the portfolio system where most of the other agencies are going to pod-based systems. Owners won't stay with them because they like customer service. They like to be able to communicate with their property manager who should know everything about their property. So they'll actually eventually get sick of that system and they'll leave and they'll come to Ozzilat. That's how we look at it.
Fantastic.
So we
Well,
hope to make a good name.
well, it sounds like you are with the significant growth that you're having of rentals that you manage in such a short space of time. So well done, Kathy. What's a common problem that your clients face and how do you solve that?
Um, I think, yeah, communication with their property management. Like, there's always problems in property management. I could write a book about how many problems you could have, but um, the basic complaint you'll get from a client is you don't know what's going on with the property. You can't give me any answers on, what's happening, and I expect you to know things because that's why I pay you to look after the property. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest complaint that we're not across everything can know what's going on. Yeah.
Who's an ideal referral for you right now?
Anybody with an investment property, and I tell this to the BNI members every week, I don't care if they don't even own an investment property. I'm very passionate about it. Even with my younger family members who want to build a portfolio, and these are the things I wish I had known when I was younger and built. Sit down and have a cup of coffee with me, a one-to-one, and I'll talk to you about starting one and building one. So my cousin, she's actually started one. She wanted to sell her first home and buy something and downsize. And I just said to her, what are you doing that for? Let's buy another property off the equity and build on it. And in 3 years' time, we'll buy another one. So she's on a second one, and I'll give her another year and I'll get her going on a third one. So,
Good
yeah,
on.
just sit down and have a chat.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks, Kathy. Let's play a word association game now. I'm going to say some words and I'm looking for a short, sharp response from you. So the first word is networking.
Building relationships with people,
I like it. Referrals,
a way of building our business,
success,
seeing the end result.
coffee,
I try to limit to 1 cup a day, but sometimes it's 2 or 3.
giver's gain,
If you don't give, you don't return.
sport,
Sport, football, rugby league,
team.
Broncos,
Well, there you go. You'll be a happy lady, Kathy, with the way they played in 2025.
absolutely.
And lastly, BNI.
I'm passionate about it. As I said, I was very upset when I lost my seat.
Hmm.
I'm very, very happy to have it back, and I
Good.
hope that I can do better than I did last time.
Fantastic. I'm confident you will. Kathy, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who wants to grow their business through networking, what would that advice be?
Sit down and have a chat to members, or if you haven't joined, sit down and talk to some of the current members on how successful they've been.
Hmm.
Um, and networking, like a giver's gain, you just said it before, give without expecting in return,
Hmm.
and eventually it'll come back to you in good ways.
What's one exciting thing that's happening with Ozzilat right now that you want the listeners or the viewers to know about?
So I've only just talked about it this week. Samir and I had to make you make difficult decisions in business about giving something up that you don't want to give up. It's like if you don't spend money, you don't make money. So we had to make a decision this week, and we were both a bit down in the mouth about doing what we did. At the end of the day, I was kind of explaining to him, I think in the long run, this is going to be better for us. And the next morning when we woke up, both of us a bit down in the mouth about what we'd done. And the next thing, our phone started to ring. And this week, we've probably had calls for a potential 12 new managements. So
Wow.
it's been an exciting week. I'm very tired.
Wow, congratulations. That's very exciting. Kathy,
Yeah.
how can listeners learn more about your business or get in touch with you?
Give me a call, or email me at bdm@ozzilat.com.au. More than happy to arrange a meeting with you and sit down and have a chat.
Amazing. Thanks, Kathy. Well, look, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. Many thanks to today's guest, Kathy Aoki, for sharing her insights and experience with us and showing us what's possible in BNI. If you're a BNI member, perhaps there's an idea that Kathy shared that you can implement over the next week. And if you're a visitor to BNI, I hope you've seen how powerful this amazing community can be. Subscribe to hear or view more real stories from Brisbane BNI members. And until next time, give more, trust more, grow more.